All right, so you're in example 9. How are we going to solve that? And it's set equal to 0. Okay, so move the 5 over. So we have, 6 cosine squared of x minus 11 cosine of x plus 5 equals 0. Okay. So do you want to change that to u? Does that make it easier? Yeah. All right, so I'm going to let u equal cosine. It's always that middle one, okay? So I have 6u squared minus 11u plus 5 equals 0.
So we don't have to do the u thing?
You don't have to. The only difference is when we go to factor it, I'm going to put u, and you're going to put cosine and cosine. It'll come out the same at the end. All right, so I got it factored. Then remember, set them individually equal to 0. And solve for u. But we're not just looking at u, we're looking at cosine of x. All right, so let's work on this first one. Cosine of x equals 1. Cosine is what? X or y on my unit circle? So I'm looking for where x is 1. On the unit circle, where is that? All right, it's at 2 pi. It's also at 0, isn't it? So let's use a smaller one. So 0. Now, if I'm restricted, my restriction is usually 0 up to, but not including 2 pi. So I wouldn't put 2 pi anyways if I'm restricted. But am I restricted here? No. But if I add 2 pi to the 0, I'm at 2 pi, aren't I? So let's just put plus 2 pi in. And what is 0 plus 2 pi in? It's just 2 pi in. All right, so that's one of my answers. What about cosine of x equals 5 over 6? You say cosine is x. Where is x 5 over 6 on my unit circle? Nowhere, right? Oh, I wasn't looking, I'm sorry. So, yeah, nowhere. So, we're going to use our inverse function. So, we're going to say that x is equal to the inverse cosine. So, you could do cosine with that little -1 of 5 over 6. Or you could use the arc cosine. Either one's the same. All right, so, and you can also, hold on a second. All right, so because we're looking at two different quadrants, because cosine is positive in quadrants, 1 and 4, we're going to have the positive arc cosine of 5, 6, or inverse cosine, whichever one you want to use, and we're going to have the negative of it. So I'm going to put the negative arc cosine of 5 over 6 as well. And I'm going to use these two as my answer. But of course, that last one, I could have written it also as negative inverse cosine of 5, 6. Okay, and I could have used the top and the bottom one there as my other answers instead.